Hello and welcome to Let's Play Fighting Games. I am back with Mortal Kombat. Last time I streamed the Game Gear version. This time it's the Game Boy version. The Game Boy version is black and white. It has a Game Boy Color mode. A fixed difficulty mode, where the difficulty of computer opponents will not increase throughout the course of a single-player game. This is good, because that will make things easier. I'm keeping Game Boy Color mode off. I want the original. And, did I just see play as Goro? Well, yes I did, because guess who I'm playing as? Goro! This is the only version of the original Mortal Kombat where you can play as Goro. The arcade version, SNES version, Genesis version, no, there was no 32X version of the original Mortal Kombat. Not even the LCD versions, or the Game Gear version, or the Master System version would let you play as Goro. This is the only version, the only official version of the first EJB, like Edward Boone. I don't know what the J stands for. I pressed start. So there's a code where you can play as Goro, and everyone has their names changed. So yeah, this is Goro. Now you might be asking me, well, why don't I do a fireball? That's a great question. Let me just tell you this. The controls in this game are so bad that doing a fireball is really hard. So right now, my attacks are punch and stomp. Invincibility? Oh, that's... I don't even know if that works. Hang on, let me rewind a bit. You can't teleport me. You can't teleport against me. I don't know why these characters are given generic names. I don't know if the names are supposed to represent anything or if they're based on anything. Probably just a joke done by Midway. But right now I'm against Scorpion, not Sub-Zero. That's Scorpion. You can tell because Scorpion's portrait looks at the player, Sub-Zero is looking to the side. So that's Sub-Zero, because in the game, Sub-Zero poses like that for his mugshot. And Sonya has no eyes. Angry video game nerd made jokes about this. What? Did I just throw the guy and his sprite turned invisible? How did I do that? I thought I pressed block. Did I press like block and punch or something? I don't know what I did. But that was awesome. I turned invisible briefly. How did that happen? I really hope Digital Eclipse will fix the difficult controls in the portable versions. I really do. Because it's so hard to do moves in the Game Boy and Game Gear versions. Okay, I'll just block this. I was trying to throw a fireball because, according to one, it's down forward, and according to this move list, it's back forward and block. Imagine how embarrassing it would be if the fan site gets the moves right and not the official game. Fergus? Maybe like Fergus McGovern? Sonya's eyes are soulless. So, unlike the Game Gear version, this has more than 2 stages. But similar to the Game Gear version, you can't uppercut your opponent to the pit. Oh gosh. Sorry for the flashing colors, guys. Oh dear, why is this flashing? I wonder... Alright, screen options. Filter, color palette. Want to see what it looks like on the Game Boy Light? The Game Boy Light had a blue tint for a screen, and it was like this. Yeah, so I prefer the black and white stuff because you get to see the game as it was meant to be. I remember playing Game Boy games on an emulator and being able to play it in black and white. Not with the green screen, but I loved it because I got to see the game as it was meant to be played, as it was meant to be displayed. Unless, of course, they wanted it to be shown on a green screen in a green background. For the Game Boy Color palette, it shows one palette, but you can't change it. It's just it's just one palette. It's green, blue, and ugly. So if you want to see what it looks like with a on a regular Game Boy, like the original screen options, I can show you. So as you can see, they're not showing the full name. Like GB is Game Boy, GBP is Game Boy Pocket, and GBL is Game Boy Light. I guess it's because they don't want to get in trouble. So this is what it would look like on a regular Game Boy. And as you can see, the border changes too, which is really cool. Bum, bum, bum. And I'd like to say hello to our viewer. Please say hi in the chat. Yeah, so right now my best attack is Stomp. I'm gonna stomp on them like a Mario stomping on Goombas. Oh, come on, I just stomped on Kano. Maybe I can rewind a bit. But I totally stomped on him. Look, yeah, see that? You see that? I stomped on him and he didn't budge. I'll rewind again, watch. Okay, I don't think I can do that anymore because I may have rewound a little too far. But you saw that. You saw that he stomped directly on Kano. I should have blocked that instead of trying to punch him away. I was trying to knock him away with the punch. Now, one thing you might be wondering is, where is the difficulty select? Because in Mortal Kombat for Game Boy, there was a difficulty select. The choices were easy, medium, and hard. And for this one, there is no difficulty select. I know, it sucks. Maybe that's why there's the option not to increase the difficulty of this game. Which is really... You can't do that on an emulator. There's no Game Gear or... not Game Gear. There's no Game Genie or Game Shark cheat for that. Or... none that I know of. I don't know how they were able to program a Game Boy game. His uppercut is so slow, I was trying to block it. I don't think the block was able to register fast enough for that, so I rewound. Yeah, so obviously this is not as good as the Game Gear version. I'm not saying that because the Game Gear version was in color. I'm saying that because... how do I put this? Okay, I blocked it just in case. His uppercut was so slow, I knew it was coming, so I blocked it. Yeah, it's because the Game Gear version had better gameplay. And yes, the colors did make it look more visually appealing. And even though the Game Gear version doesn't give you the option to play as Goro, that's alright. What matters is that it's a better game. I am one away from the mirror match, and it's only been like 10 minutes. You know what's funny? It looks like it says Guru. It would be cool if Digital Eclipse patches this game so it's easier to do the moves on the Game Boy and Game Gear versions. And why not on the Game Boy Advance versions as well? That'd be cool. And you know what else would be cool? So you know how the Capcom Fighting Collection games and the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, they have one-button moves. It'd be cool if you could do that in these games, because in some of these games, like the Game Boy version... Yeah, you see? I threw him, and the sprite turned invisible. I think I just pressed punch and forward and punch, and I threw him. I'm not sure if I need to put a block button involved, but yeah, I totally threw him, and the sprite turned invisible. I love how, even though this is 8 bits, the characters look like they're the way they did in the in the game. Like, they look realistic. Look at Raiden. He looks like he's shocked. Like, he looks like he got surprised. Like, someone caught him red-handed or something. Wow. Like the way he did in the game. Even though it's pixelated. That is some good pixel art, or I don't know what techniques they did to convert a sprite to a Game Boy or sprite conversion or pixel art, but yeah, that's really cool. Wow, really textured. I'm sure it was a sprite conversion. I forgot to show the other options. Game Boy Pocket. And after this, I'll get back to my favorite version. Actually, hang on. If you don't mind. Just to show off with my favorite style being the regular Game Boy version. Alright, now we know what both Goros look like in regular version. Game Boy Pocket. This version is actually pretty good. I like how the screen isn't so bright green. It's a nice tint of green and not too much. I love the eyes in the background, like in the actual stage. Okay, I'm laughing because I might be... Oh, no, I forgot. They're endurance matches. That's supposedly Liu Kang's mouth, but it looks like a giant tooth, like a buck tooth. Wait! Here's something I noticed. Goro came before the endurance battles. So I guess Goro is easier than the endurance battles? Like, what's going on? Why is Goro placed before the endurance battles? Because usually it's the endurance battles and then Goro. Let's get back to to regular version. I'll do the Game Boy Light version when I play a Sub-Zero. I know I've played this before. I thought Shang Tsung was going to be next. But hey, I can't remember this stuff. Yeah, not gonna lie, this version is worse than the Game Gear version. But the weird part is that I remember the Game Gear version being fun, and then I play this and I'm like, oh my gosh, why can't I do this move? Well, why is it so hard for me to do a slide move? And I was watching a video of Justin Wong, maybe I should rewind, I don't know. Did I jump over that? Well, I blocked that. Why did I take so much damage if I blocked it? Okay, that bumped me, but I didn't get knocked back. I continued to hop. I mean, you saw that. I was jumping forward, and instead of the fireball knocking Goro down, it just bumped him. Yeah, I think I should rewind because, apparently Carl, or Liu Kang. Invincibility? This is more like invisibility. Oh yeah, I'm pretty invincible. But you know what's funny? Oh my gosh! When I did the invincibility move, the game sped up. Watch. Okay. What's going on? I'm holding down and block. It worked before, why isn't it doing it now? But, yeah, that's weird. I mean, I was holding down and block, and I was definitely not invincible just now. Like, before it worked, but now it's not working. I don't know why. It's inconsistent. It would be hilarious if they ported the LCD version of this game. Alright, I'm gonna admit, in my wish list, one of the games I was hoping to be ported was the LCD version. I remember at the beginning when this game was first announced, there were 4 unannounced games, and the games on my wish list were Mortal Kombat 2 for Game Gear, didn't happen. Mortal Kombat Armageddon, didn't happen. Mortal Kombat LCD, didn't happen. And Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Happened, but I wanted the DOS version. The DOS version is the best Windows version. The Windows version is the best version because there are no load times. This game was reprogrammed so that there would be no load times, which is awesome for the... And, sorry, forgot to mention, they included the PlayStation version, and Digital Eclipse had to reprogram it so there would be faster load times and no load times for Shang Tsung. So if they could reprogram Mortal Kombat Trilogy so there are faster load times, why can't they reprogram the handheld versions of this game and have their controls to be responsive? Look, see, he's moving faster. Because before it was like, who's shaking? Oh, he's just kicking. This is a dumb CPU. I'm guessing maybe the reason why it's slower is because there's a giant Goro on the screen and it's slowing down the game. I don't know. Look how much slower the game is. And then Goro, invisible. Look. I can just make the timer run out like that. But come on. That's not really fun. And some people will say, well, why are you using the rewind feature? There's no difficulty in this game. I can justify using the rewind feature. Look, it says Goro, but at the top it looks like it says Guru. Guru wins, even though the screen says Goro wins. Sonya's soulless eyes. One thing you may notice about this game is that Johnny Cage isn't in. Which is unfortunate because he's a cool character. So, this game has Kano instead of Johnny Cage. And in the Game Gear version, it's Johnny Cage instead of Kano. I'm perfectly fine with that, because I'd rather see Johnny Cage in full color than Kano. Originally, for the second run, I was going to be Kano, because he's not in the Game Gear version. So I was thinking that I'd do Johnny Cage for my run in the Game Gear version, and the Game Boy version I'd do Kano. But here's the thing, I was trying to play as Kano, and it was really hard to control him. I couldn't even do a fireball. I was able to do a fireball for Sub-Zero when I played as him, but I couldn't do a fireball for Kano. Ooh, I'm frozen midair. Are you gonna get me? No? Hey, I want to try something. I want to see if I could do the invisibility move in air. Midair? No? No? Look, I'm standing midair. Alright. I tried taking a screenshot. I don't think it turned out well. But that was pretty funny. It looked like I was standing on the wall or the crowds. That was pretty funny. Yeah, it's a static crowd. I guess they don't move because, you know, memory and stuff. Game Boy not being compatible with having a background with animation in it. You know what I mean? I wish that, he's stomping, he's not even on top of him. I wish that the Street Fighter series had a game compilation like this one, where it's not just the arcade versions, but also the console versions. That'd be cool. Like, for example, it has the Game Boy versions of Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha. It has Super Street Fighter 2 Revival for Game Boy Advance and the Street Fighter Alpha 3 version of... Sorry, the Game Boy Advance version of Street Fighter Alpha 3 and the PSP version of Street Fighter Alpha 3. That'd be cool. And it'd be even cooler if in the SNES versions, if you can beat the game on the difficulty lower than 4, and you can still see the ending, and the game gets reprogrammed to do that. I'm sure it's not that hard to do it, where you simply remove the code saying if the game is beat in less than 4, then try the game at a higher difficulty. I'm sure it's easy to remove that code and replace it with show the ending. And don't be a jerk. It is amazing how games nowadays are so much more accessible than they were in the 90s. Because in the 90s, video games can be tough, like really tough, but now they're more accessible. Especially fighting games, because before fighting games, they could be really difficult even on the lowest difficulty setting, which is one of my pet peeves for fighting games, when the lowest difficulty setting isn't enough. I hate it when that happens. Stompy, stompy, stompy. There's something else I want to tell you guys. For my next run-through of this game, usually I do 2 run-throughs of a game if I have enough time for a second run-through. But for the next run-through, I might not be able to do fatalities. During my rehearsal before the stream, I was able to pull off a... what was I going to say? Fatality... Oh, I get it! The reason why I fought against Goro before was because I was doing a mirror match. It was a mirror match. It was the mirror match, then Endurance, then Goro. So before it was the mirror match, now it's Goro. But what's really cool is now I'm fighting against Goro on top of the pit, which you usually can't do. Usually it's on a stage. Like in Goro's lair. Hey, that reminds me. So why is it that before the mirror match is in Goro's lair, but this is in the pit? Why? Because fight against Goro. I mean, when you fight against Goro as the boss, it's in Goro's lair. But fight against him in a mirror match, it's where he's supposed to be, in Goro's lair. That doesn't make sense. But then again, neither did many video game decisions in the 90s. And 80s, which makes angry video game nerds say, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? I can say that a lot about... He started doing his wind pose mid-air. He started doing his wind pose mid-air. Watch. Look. He lands, starts opening... I mean, before he lands, he starts opening his hands. Before he lands, he's opening his hands. Before he lands, he's opening his hands. I guess a lot of people can ask what were they thinking for Mortal Kombat Advance. Am I right? Oh wow, the only character who didn't get his name, Brittle Plum! Oh, instead of Battle Plan, Brittle Plum. And the only character who didn't get his or her name changed is Goro! Hang on, let me save. Forgot to save. I mean, not like I need to, considering how easy it is to stomp on your opponent and the difficulty doesn't increase. Oh, I love the levitation animation. Ooh, Goro versus Goro! And it's the same color palette! Wow, look at that! Same color palette! What were they thinking? They didn't change the color palette. What were they thinking? Because the other Goro is supposed to be more gray and, no texture detail. But this is the exact same Goro. Yeah. Okay, I'm on the left now. That's what the fireball looks like. Yeah, because in the arcade version... Okay, in every other version, when it's the same character versus the same character, and you're against Shang Tsung, the character who Shang Tsung is a different character. Well, of course, this is the only original... This is the only official original MK game where you can play as Goro. So I guess we're not going to get a fancy animation, just going to say outstanding. Yep. Goro defeated Shang Tsung. Can you believe it? He turned against Shang Tsung and said, hey, I'm the winner of this tournament now. I remember when I showed the ending for Mortal Kombat for Game Gear, and you can see the characters. Are we gonna see anything here? Look, Daniel Pesina as Scorpion and Sub-Zero does not say Daniel Pesina as Johnny Cage. But that's because, the end. Johnny Cage isn't in this game. But, you gotta remember... Okay, so apparently there's like an invisible cursor. Yeah, you have to press left and right. There's no flashing letter, no underline. I have to press right and then change it. I wonder how far I can go with this. No, it's no numbers, no special symbols. That's it. Job. Someone named Job or Job. Maybe the person did a good job. That's how Job got on the high score. Okay. I could start from here, but just to play it safe, I'm gonna turn off the Goro code because I don't want any glitches happening. Game setting. And also because it's Sub-Zero, let's have a little blue on the screen. Game Boy Light. Beautiful. So there was a console named Game Boy Light. At the bottom it says Handheld Light instead of Game Boy Light. With the same font as the Game Boy Light. Only of course it doesn't say Game Boy because, you know, copyright purposes. But yeah, in Japan there was a console named Game Boy Light. It's the Game Boy but with a backlight. And it had this blue screen. It was only released in Japan. Raiden's scared, and Liu Kang has a giant tooth. And there's no difficulty select. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. Before I thought the characters were moving slowly because I was playing as Goro, and then when he went off screen, they moved quicker. That's not what happened. It was because there were two characters on screen. It is really hard to do a move. I mean, I'm trying to do that, it's telling me to, but it's hard. It's weird that the game has you do special moves in a way that it's not supposed to happen. So for the freeze, it's down forward punch, down forward low punch, or in the Game Gear version, down forward punch. And the slide command has different commands depending on which version you're playing as. At a time, you're like a man at a time. I'm gonna admit, it was more fun playing as Goro. And also, I'll give credit where credit is due. Raiden still looks a bit like his realistic portrayal. Yeah. It's just, sometimes I can do the move, sometimes I can't. I mean, it's not like in the actual games, like for console and arcades, where I can easily do the moves with the commands. It's here. It's like I either do it or I don't. Well, I have some bad news. It's gonna take me longer to beat this game than it was with when I was Goro. Because for Goro, I just had to stomp around and do high damage attacks. Well, the stomping was the high damage attack. Alright, so Raiden lives, and I don't get to perform a fatality on him. Oh yeah, that remember the version had a blood code, which I had turned on when I played it. Gosh, after I sweep, I can't crouch and block. Gosh, the timing of the button presses and the directions, it's really, really, really hard. Like, really hard. I mean, I guess kids in the 90s were just happy that they could play Mortal Kombat on a Game Boy, and that's what made them happy, even if the controls were out of whack. Yeah, I remember when I was playing, sorry, let me rephrase that. I watched a video where Justin Wong was playing the Game Gear version of Mortal Kombat, and he was playing it on the Legacy Collection. And he was trying to do a Sub-Zero slide move, exactly how the input said it was supposed to be done. And he had trouble doing it. So if a legendary player like Justin Wong has trouble doing simple commands, then it's not just me. It's the game. Okay, well I got the slide, but... yeah, I got the slide, but... well, Liu Kang locked me out first. sorry, I'm laughing because I remember what Angry Video Game Nerd said about the music of this game. Said the music sounded like farts. So, it sort of does. Okay, well that didn't work. I'm going to try the command list from what I saw on a website, a third-party website. Didn't work either. Whatever, I'll just uppercut him. There, I finished him. The stance poses have 2 frames of animation. One of the things I like about this game is that because there are only 6 characters, that means I get to finish this game sooner. Because I had fun playing as Goro, not so much as Sub-Zero. I mean, it was fun where I would think, oh wow, I'm Goro, I can do these cool moves, I can stomp on my opponents. This is not fun. The controls are really difficult. And I hate the stage because of the flickering. I'm not sure if the flickering is part of the game itself, or if it's part of the emulation. So I'm not sure if it's a ROM thing or an emulation thing. Wow, I cannot uppercut this guy. Okay, I'll just do this. I tried to do the rapid punches, but that did not work. There, I froze him. I feel like I need to do like this sort of rhythm where I uppercutted him. Give me a break. I uppercutted him. That was an uppercut. I think I need to do this sort of rhythm where the freeze would execute in this rhythm. Like da da da, not da da da, or da da da. Maybe da da da, but yeah, more like da da da. Yeah, like not like. I remember reading GamePro magazine and when it said Johnny Cage is not on this game, and I felt a bit sad because Johnny Cage is cool. I was thinking, why am I not punching anything? Then I realized I was pressing the wrong button. I was pressing a button that wasn't even assigned. Gosh. Hey. I don't want to keep rewinding and trying the fatality. I just have to accept it's not going to work. Sonia's soulless eyes. And like the Game Gear version, you cannot uppercut your opponent into the pit. Wow, I love that. Beautiful. I mean, that was probably the most perfect time to freeze her. Should I block or dodge? I'll try to jump. Alright, well that caused me to walk into her physical attack, so yeah, blocking I guess is the way to go. Why can't I uppercut her? Like, seriously. Sorry about that. Sorry, I was a little tired tonight. Yeah, sorry about that. Nice, he froze her. Alright. There's, there are multiple people streaming from whichever device they have. I forgot what I was gonna say after. Oh yeah, I remember. Sorry, I just falling asleep and I got all tired. I think I sort of remember what I was gonna say. I was like, there are multiple people streaming this on their device, and I was gonna say, I think I might remember what I was gonna say, but I don't want to say it because it's not needed. Hello, viewers! Say hi to the chat! Today I'm playing Mortal Kombat for Game Boy! Woohoo! Midair! Uppercut! What? Come on! There we go. I'm gonna save. So what do you guys think of the Legacy Collection? I really enjoy it, but there are some improvements that need to be made. I think they need to start by including the moves in the moves list for some characters in Mortal Kombat for Game Gear, which I mentioned last week. Because in the move list, it doesn't have... I mean, in the move list for Mortal Kombat for Game Gear, it doesn't have Johnny Cage's Lobo, and it doesn't have Sonya's leg grab. I mean, I'd have to go on GameFAQs and look them up. Okay, so it looks like I won with the round over. Sorry, I was just really tired. But it's okay, I won. I'm not gonna rewind and be like, no, I want to win properly. I won. Da, 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 da. Okay, so apparently I guess I didn't realize I had a fatality opportunity. I was asleep again. Sorry. I don't think this is it. Is it? One way to find out. I did it before. It was like a traveling punch or a flying punch where he travels along the ground. Not as cool as freezing the opponent and shattering the opponent or doing the head rip. Definitely not as cool as that. I mean, these fatalities are heavily censored. No, that's not how you do it. Well, I tried doing it, I just couldn't do it. No use in trying to repeat a fatality over and over, because it's really difficult. Let's see if I can beat this game in 15 minutes. Oh wow, Sub-Zero has checker marks. That's how we distinguish him from the checker marks. He'll blend in with the floor just fine. Did I say just fine? I meant to say just fine. Because the floor also has the checker mark design. My mic's not on mute, I just haven't said anything yet. That's not it. Yeah, I can do it. It's really hard to do. If you want to see what the Mortal Kombat fatalities look like on Game Boy, look it up on YouTube. I mean, I know that digital clips preserve the controls of this game, but still, it would be a lot nicer if the controls were easier. I mean, back forward kick should do a freeze, not a questionable freeze move. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I was really looking forward to the Game Gear version because I had these memories of playing the Game Gear version on an emulator and how cool it was. How cool it was to play as these characters in 8-bit and they look so amazingly realistic. Then I realized that my roundhouse things I wasn't doing so well too. I do not remember what I just said. I said something. Yeah, he has more health. Hopefully I won't screw this one up. And hopefully I won't get sleepy during the stream again. Okay, uppercut. Almost there. Almost there. Oh yeah! That reminds me, this is an endurance battle. Right, so I have to defeat two of them. Shucks. This is gonna take a while, folks. I don't like the endurance battles, and I hate them even more on this. There we go. Oh, come on. I so uppercutted him. He was supposed to have felt that. I mean, at least he would have felt it in the arcade version. What? I don't even get a chance to crouch? Okay, now I do. Oh, give me a break. I bet the freeze time for the home consoles were longer than this. The home consoles. And I'll say it again. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Just fades out. Hilarious. There we go. Kill that one didn't work. Shucks. Yeah, all this work just for a simple endurance battle. I know, unbelievable. Sorry, I need a breather. Alright, I think... Well, it's certainly not as easy as doing it with Goro. Oh gosh. And I know my sleepiness didn't exactly help, but... Well, after I took a breather, I think I'm feeling a little more alert. Oh! It hit him and still did damage even after it says out of time. Let's see it in replay. No, I rewound too far back. Oh man, I did too far back. Oops. Oh well, it's okay. You know what? I'm gonna finish him a different way. Oh, give me a break. Don't tell me that didn't connect. Yeah, that's just battle 1 of 2. And then there's Goro, then there's Shang Tsung, etc, etc. So I'll try to finish this as soon as possible so we can just get over it. The good news is this has a rewind feature. So because there's a rewind feature, that means I can rewind, and it'll take a lot less time than if it didn't have one. Wow, I'm getting pretty lucky this round. Oh my gosh, I did 3 freezes in a row. And I forgot... 4 maybe? And I forgot, it's hard to freeze people, it's hard to do a move here. This is what I don't understand. Why is it that, when you do a freeze in the other games, and it's with a punch, but here it's with a kick? That doesn't make sense. Why? Just doesn't make sense. Okay, got that round done. Alright, now I save. Alright, next time I'm gonna save at the windscreen and not at the beginning of the next round, because when you save, if you load your game and you rewind too far, you're back at the title screen. It sucks. It really sucks. Digital Eclipse needs to fix the this rewind glitch. I mean, when it loads the game, I should be able to rewind far back enough to when I last saved, not to when I first started booting up this game. I have a long list of things that need to be improved for this game, and I hope it will be in some patches. But for now, I mean, in general, it's a great game. So, I have to say, even though I think this is a great game, this game had a rocky start when it started. For example, the pause button. So you have to hold the pause button if you want to pause the game. And before, the pause button was twice as long as it is now. I mean, watch. So it took a split second to do that. It took a lot longer when this game was first released before the patch. It took twice that amount of time. So I guess maybe an entire second? Or maybe even 2 seconds? I don't know. Maybe longer than a second? I don't know. I don't have a stopwatch on me to find out exactly how many seconds that was. But oh my gosh, it was upsetting. It was annoying. You had to hold it for a really long time to pause during a game and hope that your opponent won't attack you while you're pausing or trying to pause. It was upsetting and annoying. And to make matters worse, so in the Mortal Kombat 3 menu for Genesis, so this game has like a lot of cool unlock features, so you can unlock things easily. So there is an unlock feature to unlock the hidden menu for Mortal Kombat 3 for Genesis. The problem is, before this was patched, you couldn't do it. So you could turn on the menu, but it wouldn't work, which I think is really upsetting. Digital Eclipse should be really lucky that they're in an era. That's odd. Scorpion didn't teleport. He's about to teleport, he didn't do it. Watch. Watch. Didn't even move. Anyway, Digital Eclipse should be lucky that they're in an era where these glitches can be patched and that these updates can be fixed. Otherwise, it'd be on consoles, nothing you can do about it, and it'd just be glitchy. And it'd be upsetting to have a game where the menu wouldn't even work, or that cheat menu wouldn't work if you turn it on. That'd be upsetting. Doesn't even say which round I'm on. Does not say the round that I'm on. Doesn't say how many rounds I win. That's upsetting. I mean, for Mortal Kombat for Game Gear, it says how many rounds I've won, but here it doesn't. I'm gonna save just in case. I know I did it, but just in case. I'm a little paranoid. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break right now. Let's look at the instructions. So I love these comic book style panels in the instructions. Just like they had for the Game Gear version. I don't think these are from the Malibu Comics comic. I think these were made specifically for this comic, and for this game. I could be wrong, but this definitely looked like the same style as Malibu Comics. So maybe these comic panels were made for this game and not for the comic, but also it was by Malibu Comics. That's pretty cool. Okay, so flying kick, towards kick. Doesn't show any other moves. Because back then it was like this. It's like, hey, let's make people discover the moves. Which stinks, because they don't want to all of a sudden discover the moves. They want to learn how to actually do the moves. I mean, how else are people going to do competitive play? I'm so glad companies moved past that stage where they don't give all the moves. Nowadays, in fighting games, they have a command list built into the menu. And it's upsetting that, before it was like, go on the internet, go get a cheat book or a hint book, or go ask your friends, and people would, like, you know, pass around codes and fatalities and stuff. And it's just upsetting that companies wouldn't give all the moves in their manuals. Even more so for a game where they wouldn't put the commands in the menu, and if you lose the manual, you're doomed unless you have another resource like the internet or a hint book. I mean, maybe the reason why moves weren't built in, why the command lists weren't shown in the game, maybe it's because I don't know, because of memory. Maybe you couldn't get a clear enough screen showing it. It could be because of memory. I mean, games certainly weren't as advanced as they are now. Oh gosh. So, what happens when I run out of time on the first opponent? Want to find out? Duck. I was holding the down button, wouldn't duck. I don't believe it. I was holding the down button and wouldn't let me duck. What? Look, out of time. says out of time and my health bar lowers. Look. Out of time. That's my health bar and it stays the same. You saw it here first, folks. So unfair. Where it says out of time. You're not supposed to take damage when it says out of time. And I can't even block it. Okay, I did it because I was holding block before it said out of time. But after it says out of time, you can't move, you can't duck. And if it hits you, it hits you. That is so unfair. Super unfair. I don't believe it. Gosh. I'm so sorry. I did not realize the second playthrough would take this long. Gosh. And you know what? I also don't understand why I can't uppercut Kano. Well, now I can. I reround a bit and I decide to act a little faster. I think this is round 1. Round 1, but it doesn't give me a notification or a symbol. Nothing. You get a symbol in the arcade game, in the SNES, Genesis, and Game Gear versions, but not here. You have to remember it. That stinks. The only thing I give credit for this game is being able to make the sprites somewhat look close to their arcade counterparts. And that they're downgraded here. I mean, yes, Raiden's face is a pixelated mess, but it still kind of looks like Raiden from the game. Still looks like a person rather than a sprite being drawn. Probably because of how the technology downgraded the sprites. What? Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. That hit him. Yeah, and before, the reason why I wasn't able to duck Raiden's electricity attack or move, as I said, because it was already out of time. It already said out of time, and I couldn't move. But I could still take damage, which is absolutely ridiculous. Just plain nonsense. What? Ridiculous. Like the moment I jump in, I can't even freeze him. Watch. Alright, so I'm gonna block that attack. Block. Gosh. I don't even want to know how I'm gonna defeat Shang Tsung and Raiden. And Goro. Sorry, Shang Tsung and Goro. Shoot. There we go. I had to mash the punch button just to do this. Oh gosh, something finally occurred to me. The reason why these endurance battles are taking so much longer. I give up. I don't even want to try fatalities anymore. It worked once. That was it. Maybe I should have recorded it as a souvenir and thought, hey, good job. I'll probably just watch them on... Finally, I'm at Goro. So, yeah, I guess the reason why those fights took so long was because I was fighting against 2 people at once. But hopefully, the difficulty for these guys won't be so bad that I'll feel like I'm fighting against 2 people again. Alright, so I was rapidly mashing the punch button, and it wouldn't do anything. I don't know why. I mean, really, I was holding down, pressing punch rapidly, and nothing happened. There we go. I still think it looks like it says Guru in the life bar, even though it says Goro. So let me get this straight. Are these boss battles supposed to be easier than the previous endurance battles? What? Oh, that is not fair. I was pressing the punch button rapidly. Yeah, sorry I'm ranting. It's just, this version of this game can be a bit frustrating. I mean, this is definitely not the Game Gear version. The Game Gear version is a masterpiece compared to this version. It really is. Yeah, so, as I was saying, this game had some glitches, and, some of the glitches were, the hidden menu in, I mean, not glitches, issues. Actually, yeah, glitches. For example, the hidden menu wouldn't work. Can I block it? No, I can't block it. Can I dodge it? I can. For example, the, secret menu for Mortal Kombat 3 wouldn't work. I read that the 32X version had some sound problems. I'll block that. I read that there are some input lag problems. I will say this, this is still a great collection. It's just the Game Boy Advance version is terrible. The Game Gear version, for some reason, it was worse than I remembered it. I thought the Game Gear version was fun. But now when I play it again, it wasn't as good. And not only that, but I think the test your might part doesn't work so well in this version. In the online edition, in the HD edition, sorry, in the HD collection for PlayStation 3, it worked fine, the press your might. But for the press your might here, I had to press the buttons even harder. Or faster. I mean, the way I press the buttons in Test Your Might for the PS3 and PS4 versions, I pressed them both the same way, very quickly, and with my thumb over all the face buttons and rapidly press them. But for some reason, it's easier to do Test Your Might in the PS3 port than the PS4 port, and both are the arcade versions. Alright. Last battle. Alright, you know what's weird? I was trying to do a slide move the same way I did in the Game Gear version, but then I remembered, oh wait, this isn't the Game Gear version. Sorry, the same way I did in the arcade version. Like, this isn't the arcade version. I don't just do the slide move in that direction. Perfect. Nice. You see, that didn't take so long as the past endurance battles. I don't understand why previous levels in games are harder than the next levels. Not saying that excludes where the next level is a bonus level or just a for fun level. I mean like a legitimate level. I hate it when the previous level is harder than the next level. It's not fair. I'm talking about you, Major Striker, Episode 1, Level 2. I'm talking about you, Lion King, with that level that was made so people can keep renting the game for longer periods of time. I'm talking about you guys. Shame on you. Especially for Lion King. You did that for money? You made a level purposely hard for money? How dare you? But people who do that, there's karma. Meaning, if you're going to purposely make a level hard, then people are going to review your game as a bad game. People are going to be like, The Lion King was such a good game, even though there's that terrible level. No, you did that level, you made that level hard on purpose so people would keep renting the game, or rent it for longer just so they could play it more. Karma, man. I mean, when I play that level on the Disney collection, I skip that level, or I could rewind it and play it again, but I like to skip that level and then go to the next level. And I'm saying that I'm doing this rant because, wow. Hang on. Alright, so there's no special animation. But anyway, I was saying that because I was complaining how the endurance levels were harder than Goro and Shang Tsung. I mean, yeah, I was fighting against two people, but still, they were a lot harder. Had to rewind a lot. Alright, I win! But I don't think the characters will have an ending like in the Game Gear version. Yep. No, it just says, congratulations, you won. After all that work, it says, congrats, you won! Took me an hour to beat this with a regular character, and took me almost half that time with Goro. And, gosh. Yeah, I can't just, skip the credits right now. I can't skip the credits, and I'm pressing A, B, select, start, block, everything. Nothing's happening. Oh, the end. I have to watch this just to enter my name. And if I can't enter my name, that's an even bigger shame. Look, there's some... Hang on. There are some lines on top from the credits. Look, see those lines? That's from the last credit. But I'm not going to rewind because I just want to get this over with. Yeah, and there's no cursor. No underline. The letters aren't flashing. No square. You just have to remember where your cursor is. That's so unprofessional. Really? I guess the high score resets when you reset the game. Well, that was frustrating. But I got through it. And had it not been for the rewind feature, I probably would not have been able to get through it. You know, at least this game is still playable, unlike Ragnargard, where even with save states, the game is so hard, it's hard for me to advance through it. I may not even play Ragnargard on the stream. Alright, well... that was fun. But next time we're gonna give the game the treatment it deserves. I played the Game Gear version, I played the Game Boy version. This version's next. Game settings. And yes, there will be one-button fatalities. And I would also love to do this in my next stream. I'd love to take a look at the SNES and Genesis versions of this game after I do my arcade run-throughs. I won't do a full run-through of the console versions, but I would like to play them for a bit. Anyway, that's the stream. Thank you for watching. Bye.